Some thunderstorms tracking along the coast this afternoon, and they've been coming in waves and in rounds, and that's not going to change for the next 12 hours. Here is 13 alert radar. We have widespread activity, but it's widely scattered, and this is light to moderate rainfall. It just depends on where we can see some of those thunderstorms develop. So zooming into that one thunderstorm they were likely picking up on earlier in Galveston, that is right over right now Chambers County along I-10, and you can see all the lightning strikes within it. Let's take a slice of this thunderstorm because we've even seen and had some reports today of some hail developing within these storms. It's pretty cold, so I'm not going to be surprised if we do have some small hail within the strongest storms, and if they're able to reach about 30,000 feet or higher, that's been tricky for some of these run-of-the-mill showers we've seen throughout the day. We don't necessarily have enough instability or ingredients to create severe weather today, but we could always potentially see a stronger storm or two, like what's over Chambers County right now, just north of Galveston Bay. Otherwise, we have some light rain right now. It's been pretty steady throughout the day, especially picking up into the afternoon. Humboldt getting a nice little downpour along 69 there, and some light rain still moving within the inner loop in the Beltway here in the city of Houston. As far as how much rain we've picking up, a decent amount for today, and we're going to see some more tonight too. And what it feels like outside right now is what it's going to feel like for the rest of the evening. Temperatures are going to remain steady. We'll be in the mid-40s. We'll have showers and even some thunderstorms still moving through the region overnight, particularly picking up into the early morning hours right after sunrise. So temperatures will still be in the mid-40s tomorrow morning. We have an 80% chance for storms through mid-morning. Then we are expecting this coastal low that's spitting up all this rain to move out. And then once it does, that helps dry us out. And eventually we see warm temperatures. This is the reward we get next week. We're talking more about the warm-up ahead coming up in my forecast, Tom. Yes.
We don't know yet whether it will be raining or not.
I do think that at least temperatures look like they'll be warmer than where we are today. But you know, this time of year especially, it really is just a roll of the dice to see, is it going to be warm? Is it going to be cold? Is it going to be rainy? This weekend, cold and rainy. Next weekend, warmer. Still to be determined about the rain. But let's take you to 13 alert radar to show you some of the latest imaging of what's going on right now. We continue to see showers push in from west to east across the region. And one thunderstorm I'm keeping a close eye on at this moment. It's moving out of southeast Texas, but it's just over Chambers County, moving along I-10. Some lightning strikes within this thunderstorm, some heavy rainfall as well. It's about 30,000 feet tall. That's been some of the highest we've seen with these storms, and I've gotten in some of your reports that you've seen small hail today too. So I'm not ruling out over the next 12 hours thunderstorms capable of producing heavy rainfall, thunder, lightning, and some small hail because of how cold it is. Not just here at the ground, but higher in the sky as well. The energy for these thunderstorms to work with. But big picture, wave one is moving out. We'll still keep some showers, some misty conditions tonight because of how damp it's now been because of the rain, but to our south we still have that coastal low. So as this continues to spin, it will pull in more moisture from the Gulf, and that is going to keep rain in the forecast for the next 12 hours. So I actually think we'll get another good wave of rain and potentially some thunderstorms and tropical moisture moving in into the morning hours. So we got an 80% chance for rain for you tomorrow morning. Best will be south of I-10. So again, Galveston with your Mardi Gras celebrations going on. Keep that umbrella handy. Stay warm and dry as well. Make sure you have extra layers to change out because it's so cold outside with this rain. My least favorite kind of weather, by the way, is cold and rain together. But this is what we've got. But then you do see rain chances go down by the time we get to the second half of the day tomorrow. So looking ahead day by day, we have improvements every single day. We start off potentially a little rainy, a little stormy tomorrow morning with some thunderstorms moving through mainly between about 5 and 8 a.m. Then we're drying out after that. Still cool, though, with temperatures in the 50s. By Monday, it'll be a cool and foggy start. But depending on how quickly that fog can lift in the morning on Monday, we should see temperatures rise into the upper 60s or low 70s. Then by Tuesday, sunny and 70. What cool down we had last week and this weekend, right? We do get some better weather by the time we get into the middle of the week, and some warmer temperatures too. We'll be in the 70s for multiple days next week. Big picture here, warming up with our thermometers here. Eventually you won't need to have that winter coat. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Typically our last morning in the 30s is about early to mid-March. You do see our next cold front though arriving between Wednesday and Thursday. Shouldn't cool us down too much though. And looking ahead to next weekend, if you are curious, likely above normal temperatures starting to move into much of the country. Now, as for right now, it is below normal outside. Bad conditions, not a fan, but soon we'll start to see all this lift. Just give me about 24 to 48 hours. You can see though as we go throughout future track, and I'm using the latest model run that matches the radar the best right now. It brings back in some of those showers and thunderstorms. Best chance will be along south of I-10, so our northern counties, you're gonna miss out on the rain. It's probably only about a 20 to 30% chance for rain for you tomorrow. And then we start to see all those conditions clear right around lunchtime, but could keep a couple of clouds through the rest of the day. And your 10-day forecast, we got our eyes on March already here on the 10-day forecast, and we do have some warmer temperatures to pair with it. We are warming up by next weekend, see a couple of days in the 60s and 70s with our next active pattern not arriving till the following week. So I'll be keeping the latest analysis on that throughout the night.
All right, Elyse, thank you. We'll have more, of course, after the game tonight. That is Eyewitness News for now. Thanks for joining us. For Elyse Smith and all of us here, I'm Tom Abrams. We'll see you back here tonight after the game. Until then, have a good night. Be kind to one another.
Hey there, Tom, and I'm actively monitoring the forecast tonight and changing it as well as we get the latest data and observations coming in. First thing you need to know tonight is I've actually decreased tomorrow's rain chance. So your best chance for rain over the next 12 hours is going to be tonight. Then by about sunrise tomorrow, a lot of this rain should be moving out. A lot of the heavy storms are going to stay off to our coast, are going to stay off coast, offshore, and then we will finally see a bit of a drier end to the weekend than what was potentially initially expected. Here's why. That coastal low that has been spinning up the rain into the region, it's staying a little farther to our south and a little farther east. So by the time this continues to move east, we're not going to have that good moisture transport anymore. That's going to be centered closer to Louisiana and the Texas-Louisiana state line. Still, it is humid, it is damp outside, even though temperatures are only in the 40s. That being said, it is misty, it is hazy, and we continue to see some light showers lift in from the Gulf, and keeping an eye on a new wave of activity that is developing just offshore. You can see that from Lake Jackson towards the coast there into Brazoria County north along Galveston Island. They have seen multiple rounds of rain and even thunderstorms today. So I'm keeping an eye on the newest activity that's developing just offshore right now. But the heaviest showers and storms, I do expect they'll stay out of the city of Houston tomorrow and most of southeast Texas. So for tonight, temperatures remain steady. We're in the 40s. We'll have some cloudiness, some rain, and potentially some claps of thunder overnight, but by the time we get to tomorrow, it'll still be cloudy, it'll still be misty, hazy in the morning from that rain we get overnight. But by the afternoon, all the rain moves out. We'll see temperatures warm into the low to mid 50s. Hopefully get a few peaks of sunshine as well, but that's not a guarantee for tomorrow. I'll let you know when that sun is finally going to come back out and when we'll see temperatures warm to potentially near 80 degrees, Tom.
All right, I'm glad all of this is happening next weekend when the prospect for good weather is much better than it is now.
It actually is. Now, I can't guarantee it won't come without any rain, but temperature-wise, it looks like things are going to swing in the other direction for us next weekend. Here it is, your temperature outlook for the last day of February, Friday, and then that first weekend of March. Looks like we'll see a swing to potentially above normal temperatures for early March, which that means for us potentially high temperatures in the afternoon in the low to mid 70s. So we are expecting next weekend to be a whole lot different than what we're experiencing right now. And temperatures are going to warm up gradually as we go on throughout the week. Tomorrow's still going to be quite chilly. Temperatures only in the mid 50s. So it's going to be cool, damp, dreary, but potentially not as rainy by the time we get to tomorrow afternoon. Then as we go on throughout the week, you do see temperatures warming up into the 70s. We welcome those once again back here into southeast Texas. We have a small dip in temperatures by the time we get to Thursday. That's with another front that's going to move through. But I think this time around that front, it's a small dip in temperatures, but it's not really going to open the door for another big cool down heading into next weekend. As for right now, though, it is cold outside, and it's still going to stay cold. Cold and rainy weather, my least favorite kind of weather that there is. And it's 40 degrees still. It feels like the upper 30s in spots, and we have a couple of raindrops still falling outside right now. What we're likely seeing is some of that mist, haze, drizzle under a cloudy sky as we continue to see waves of rain develop from over the Gulf and push inland. That's what we have on 13 alert radar. Widely scattered showers that have mainly stayed south and east of Columbus, Brenham, the Brazos River Valley. This has mainly been east of that and east of I-10. Zooming into some new areas of development, though, it's just offshore as it's gotten darker outside as temperatures have dropped a little bit. We've started to see some new activity right along the Gulf Coast from Brazoria County all the way up through Galveston. No lightning strikes right now in Galveston or High Island, but you do see some heavier pockets of rain. Big picture, here's that swirling low that we're going to watch develop over the next 12 hours. And models are trending for this system to develop farther south and farther east, which would keep the heavy rain and thunderstorms away from southeast Texas. Good news for anyone who's going to be in Galveston tomorrow, but I just have to point out again, tonight and tomorrow, mainly south of Houston along the coast, could potentially still see some heavier pockets of rain, some claps of thunder and lightning over the next 12 hours. But generally speaking, tomorrow's forecast is trending drier with the latest analysis and how we're monitoring this weather system. So we think by about 6, 8 o'clock, we'll start to see all the rain move out tomorrow morning. Then by tomorrow afternoon, it'll be dry, but just keep in mind that it's going to still be a little humid and a little damp from the rain that we've seen. So Future Track keeps some of that light rain in the forecast overnight into tomorrow morning. That was 2 a.m. Here's 6 a.m. That system's still well offshore, keeping that heavier rain and thunderstorms offshore with it. By 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, we start to see all of this trend farther east. 10 a.m. still cloudy with potentially a little bit of light mist and drizzle, but I do think by the late afternoon, we should start to see some more sunshine here in southeast Texas. As for your 10-day forecast, we have the potential to see some fog Monday morning, and depending on how quickly that lifts, might see temperatures in the upper 60s or might see temperatures in the low 70s. Some bright sunshine welcomes this brand new week here in southeast Texas. Then looking ahead to next weekend, gorgeous weather right now for Saturday, the potential for a few thunderstorms on Sunday, and could potentially see a little more of an active stretch as we head into that first full week of March.
All right, Elyse, thank you.